Ladies and gentlemen, and Pokemon fans of the world, Crasher chases back and allow me to introduce to you, man, you already know what's going on. We have another Pokemon X and Y analysis video featuring Pangoro, and all I gotta say is you're pretty much dead meat if you meet this guy in a dark alley or dark woods. He looks powerful, and he's definitely got the stats to back it up. So with that, I'm going to be going over things like its typing, ability, stats, and some set ideas I have for you. So with Pangoro, it sports the very unique and powerful typing of Fighting and Dark, and this typing alone goes almost unresisted, which is good as a start right away. Um, it does leave you to a very, very crippling 4 times weakness to fairy type moves, so please use Pangoro with caution since we have a bunch of those fairies running around in the metagame. As for the ability, it gets 3 of them, one of which is Iron Fist, which is a really nice ability that boosts punching moves by 20%. The next move, I'm sorry, the next ability we have is known as Mold Breaker, which basically cancels out other abilities in the sense where, say, if you have a Pokemon with Levitate, um, and you have, say, Earthquake, Earthquake will hit because it negates the effect from Levitate. So basically, to sum it up, Mold Breaker cancels out the effect abilities have on your moves, which is also very good. And its hidden ability, known as Scrappy, basically allows normal and fighting type moves to hit ghost types. And it's a pretty interesting ability, but with its dark typing, you kind of don't need to run Scrappy, although it's still a very good thing to have. As for the stats, it has 95 HP, 124 attack, 78 defense, 69 special attack, 71 special defense, and 58 speed. So we can tell right away that its biggest asset is in its physical attack, being at base 124, and that is like mega powerful. And its bulk isn't even that bad either. 95 HP with 78 defense and 71 special defense is actually pretty good. Its base 69 attack is pretty bad, and in comparison to its physical attack, we're probably not going to be making use of it. And its base 58 speed is just horrible. Um, but fear not, because I happen to have a few set ideas, and one in particular that can somewhat help mitigate its poor speed. So let's get to it. So with this set here, we're going to be turning Pangoro into an all-out offensive powerhouse. The nature we're going to be giving it is Adamant to increase its attack and lower its special attack. The ability for choice, you can either go with Iron Fist to boost punching moves, and I just want to make a quick note here that unfortunately for Pangoro, it does not get very many punching moves, which kind of sucks. However, with the Iron Fist boost, it will hit much, much harder. And the other ability that we can use is Scrappy, which again hits ghost types with fighting or normal type moves, which is really cool. The item for choice, we have a few here. We have Leftovers to increase survivability, Choice Band to power up your moves to an insane level, however you're locked into that one move, and Life Orb to power up your moves pretty well, but at the expense of some HP. Now for the EV spread, 252 are going to go into HP, 252 into attack, and 4 into speed. We're basically making Pangoro a bulky, all-out attacker. While taking hits, you're also dishing them out. And the move set that I have here, I have Hammer Arm, being that in this situation here, I really don't care about the speed drop because it already has a bad speed and we're not making any investments. So dropping a speed isn't really that big of a sacrifice. And with the Iron Fist boost, Hammer Arm does a crap ton, especially with the Choice Band or Life Orb boost. So that's pretty scary. Payback is its next move because since how it's generally slow, Payback will almost guarantee that your going to move after the opponent attacks you, and its power is double from 50 to 100, plus stab, plus a choice band or life orb. Man, oh man. The next move that we have is Earthquake, which is a very, very solid move to have, as it deals damage to those that Payback and Hammerarm can't hit for super effective damage, such as electric types that run rampant in the tier. And Poison Jab being the last move for choice, being able to hit grass and fairy types for super effective damage. And since fairies are much more threatening than anything else, in my opinion, you want to have Poison Jab as they are weak to poison type moves, and it allows you a fighting chance against fairy types. Now, some moves to consider. I have quite a few here. I have Storm Throw being a move that is now perfectly accurate and has a power boost to 60 base power that always scores a critical hit. So no matter how many times your opponent sets up defensively, it's going to cut right through those defenses with a critical hit. So that's actually really nice. Up next, we have Sky Uppercut. If you do not like the drop in speed that Hammerarm's recoil has, then you can go with Sky Uppercut. However, it does not have the best accuracy, but it does have a high critical hit ratio. And I also want to note that Hammerarm doesn't exactly have the best accuracy either, but it hits for 100 base power, which is very powerful. Up next, we have Crunch. If you want to just have a solid move that does not fluctuate depending on whether your opponent moves first or moves last, or even attacks you at all. The next move is Stone Edge, being a very solid move to counter flying type Pokemon. Um, and the next move we have is Swords Dance. So if you want to opt out one of those four moves and throw in Swords Dance, you're going to be hitting so much harder. And the next move to consider is Bulk Up, being uh, a more defensive approach, as it not only increases your attack but defense too, allowing you to take hits on the physical side much better. So that's it for this set. Time to move on to the next one. So with this next set here, we're going to be turning Pangoro into quite the fearsome revenge killer. The nature we're going to be giving it is a Jolly nature to increase its speed and lower its special attack. The ability for choice, again, you can either go with Iron Fist or Scrappy. In this situation here, I would choose Scrappy, and you'll see why in the moveset. The item for choice is going to be Choice Scarf, no pun intended. In the EV spread, 4 are going to go into HP, 252 into attack, and 252 into speed. As for the move set, we have Storm Throw, and what this is, if I hadn't explained it already, is it's a move that always hits as a critical hit, and it gets a really nice boost to 60 power and base 100 accuracy. So this move will always hit. Um, as for the next move, we have Crunch, being a solid base 80 dark type move, and we also have Poison Jab to hit fairy types, especially. And then we have Stone Edge to nail flying types and clip their wings. Now, moves to consider. The first one I have is called Parting Shot, which is a move I believe exclusive to Pangoro only, and it works kind of like a U-turn, except it does not cause damage, instead it lowers your opponent's attack and special attack. So this can actually be quite the little head game that you could play on your opponents, and also act as kind of like a supporter for a safe switch-in if you don't choose to attack that turn. And the next move to consider is Sky Uppercut. And if you want to run Iron Fist and have Sky Uppercut over Storm Throw, you can have that. But my preference is Storm Throw over Sky Uppercut because it's perfectly accurate and it always hits for critical hits. So I have yet another set idea I want to share with you. So with this move set here, we're going to be turning Pangoro into a bulky shuffler, and this guy can pull it off pretty well. The nature we're going to be giving it is Careful Nature to increase its special defense and lower its special attack. The ability we're going to be giving it, this time it's going to be solely Scrappy. The item for choice is Leftovers. The EV spread, 252 are going to go into HP, 128 into defense, and 128 into special defense, giving you some well-rounded bulk in both areas. Now the move set I have here is found very common on the likes of Poliwrath because it has similar bulk to that of Pangoro. The move set we have here is Circle Throw, which is a 60 base power fighting type move that phases out your opponents after causing damage. The next move that we have is Toxic to inflict uh, increasing damage on your opponents, which is pretty nice. And then we have the Rest and Sleep Talk combo, which can also work really well too in increasing the chance of survivability for Pangoro. Now, some moves to consider. I have just one, that being Roar. And if you want to run Roar over Toxic and being uh, a, a straight up phaser, then then that would be great too, because that right there you would have 2/3 of a chance of using a move that phases out your opponents and is forced to switch in another opponent. And if you have uh, entry hazards on the field, that can work out pretty well too. So that's it for this set. It's pretty brief, but I have yet another set here for you here and now. With this last move set here, we're going to be turning Pangoro into a bulky attacker. The nature we're going to be giving it is Careful to increase its special defense and lower its special attack. The ability we're going to give it, once again, is going to be Scrappy. The item for choice is going to be Leftovers, and the EV spread. 252 are going to go into HP, 252 into special defense, and 4 into speed. As for the move set, Storm Throw being a perfectly accurate and an always critical hit kind of move, we're going to be putting it on there because, in my opinion, it's the most reliable move with no recoil, no imperfect accuracy. It's just straight up awesome. And the next move that we have is known as Payback. And since we're going to be rather slow in this set, Payback is possibly the best option because you're almost always guaranteed to move last, and your opponent's going to want to try and take you down, so Payback will hit twice as hard if they attack you. And the next move for choice, we have Bulk Up, being a very cool way of increasing your attack and defense. And after a couple Bulk Up boosts, you're going to be hitting pretty hard, and you're going to be hard to take down, especially on the physical side. And the last move to consider, we have Substitute. And what this does is it basically sacrifices 1/4 of your HP to hide behind a substitute where you are protected from the likes of statuses. So that can work out pretty well, especially if your opponent is looking to burn you or something like that. Now, moves to consider. I have Rest and Sleep Talk. Now, if you choose to run the Rest Talk combo, opt out Payback, and you'll kind of act as like a mono attacker. You want to opt out Payback and Substitute. That way, you know you're sleeping. You use Sleep Talk and you use Bulk Up or Storm Throw, and that will work out really nice. Or if you choose to run Rest over Substitute, then my recommendation is to run a Chesto Berry as your item for instant one-time recovery. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about this set and this video, actually. Pangoro is quite useful and can run many different sets, so I hope you guys consider using him because I know I most likely will use him in one of my battles, and I want to breed a perfect Pangoro that hits hard and definitely looks tough. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I shall see you next upload, possibly tomorrow. I plan on uploading 2 analysis videos a day, seeing how I was a little bit behind uh, just a few days ago, seeing how I work 12-hour shifts 4 days straight. So on my 4 days off, I'm going to be uploading a lot more frequently than I do during my string of my work days, which does not allow me much free time after I'm off. So take care, good night, and this is Crasher Chase signing off. Peace.